Welcome back, everyone, to Reel 33, the unofficial, official podcast of the greatest BMX film ever made, a little program we know as RAD. I'm Rick Haney, your co-host, joined by Brandon Shaw. What's going on, buddy?
Man, just living the dream, brother. I'm excited. We got a new guest today.
We got a great show tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he was a kid on the filming of Rad, probably one of the youngest guys that was there amongst all the superstars of the 80s. How great's that?
Well, I mean, I was just thinking that he was living the dream that we were living as we were watching it. He was there.
Yeah.
You know?
That had to be really cool for a kid his age. And he was a young teen too. So let's bring him on. You ready?
I am ready.
All right,
Mr. Jeremy Moser.
Hey guys.
Good to see you, man.
Special
this
effects.
is awesome.
Welcome,
we're
man.
glad
Welcome.
you could join us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so give us the history. I mean, I'm so excited to hear about how this whole thing came about. I mean, you were 14 years old when the filming started?
I was 14 years old. I was living in Richmond, Virginia. We had just mom got a new job and we moved there just for the summer. It took us to AG's bike shop for a GT Vans tour. They were doing a show in the parking lot. And Everett Rosecrans was the team manager. Rick Allison, Martin Aparijo, and Beetle Rosecrans were the riders. And my mom and Ev hit it off during the show. Ended up spending a bunch of time with them. She flew back and forth to catch up. We actually went on the road with them to North Carolina, South Carolina, and did shows at bike shops for like that next week, which was a whole nother amazing experience hanging out with those guys. And then my mom traveled around with Ev for the rest of the summer, and she came home and took us to McDonald's, which was our big family meal at that time, and said, "Do you want to move to California?" And,
Oh, wow.
my brother and I hated Richmond. We were done with that. It was a summer was fine, and so we said, yeah, why not? And she said, "There's a caveat. We're gonna be in California for about a day, and then we're going to Canada to film a BMX movie." And
Wow.
kind of like, well, hell yeah. I mean, here we are, joining up with Beetle and Martin and Ev, and we were in LA, Corona area for, I don't know, a day. We went to Vans. They loaded us up with all kinds of gear. They were pulling stickers off the printer, which I have some of those to show you guys that we actually hand cut in the motorhome going to Canada. So yeah, it was a straight drive to Canada, and then on the set in the movie for 2 months with the guys I just was reading about in magazines. So yeah, I was affected by it in a good way. It changed my life.
I can only imagine.
There, let's go backwards a little bit because we need to find out his connection to BMX. You went to this show. Were you racing? Were you freestyling? Were you new to BMX?
No, I was just a kid that loved bikes and riding. And my little brother is 4 years younger. So it was my brother and I, and my mom drove us to the bike shop for this GT van show.
Now, were you reading the magazines? Did you know who these guys were? Any of them?
Yeah, we totally knew. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we were following it. Yeah, we were all into it.
Okay, so now we got the scene. You're riding. What kind of bike were you on, by the way?
I had a Concorde, a Demon. I think it was DX. It was like a knockoff Stingray.
Stingray. As soon as you got to California, did they hook you up with a better bike?
Sorry, not a Stingray, a Predator, a Schwinn Predator.
Schwinn Predator, yeah.
Yeah.
You're saying it was a knockoff of a Predator?
Yeah, it was a knockoff. Concorde was an Ohio brand that didn't make much, but it was a chromoly frame, and it looked just like a Predator.
Okay, and again, so when you got to California, did they hook you up with a new ride or what?
Yeah. We actually we went into Ev's shed, and he had the bike I rode was a JMC, and we built them up from parts in the shed, and then we stopped at Ralph's Bicycles in the motorhome on the way to Canada to get pedals and to get some other gear we needed to finish them off, and then we built them and finished them in the motorhome driving to Canada.
Oh, that's freaking awesome! So you are in heaven. You're like. You're the future stepdad. Okay, I'm down with this, right?
Yeah, it was a pretty good deal.
Yeah, very cool.
What was it like hanging out with Beetle? What was he? Did he take you on like you guys were brothers already, or?
Yeah, he was awesome. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, driving up there, I think he was 15 at the time, and he was driving the motorhome, going through
That's awesome.
Montana, I think it was. And we were listening to Prince album and Madonna cassettes in the van's motorhome. He was crazy and fun. I mean, he at one point he put his helmet on and he's the little sunroof thing, the vent on the top of the motorhome was broken for years, and he sticks his head up out of the top of the motorhome, standing on boxes of shoes with his helmet on, and we're flying down the freeway with his head out there. He was crazy and fun, but he was always really good to us. He was really he was a good older stepbrother.
And by the way,
Cool.
how old was he at the time? What was his age?
I think he was 15 because he didn't have a license. He was driving that motorhome.
So y'all were close in age, man. What a great, and y'all gelled. It was all good, huh?
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, we were so grateful, you know, to move into this life from where we were. I don't know. It was just, we were just really appreciative. And I think, you know, in a way, maybe they learned a little bit about what they were so privileged with that they took for granted. And we were just, you know, absorbing everything. So it was a fun time.
It sounds like
Wow.
it. It sounds like fun for your mom and her new boyfriend too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And they literally met, and the next day they're on a road trip together. Is that what you said?
pretty much. Yeah,
Wow.
actually,
Yeah.
there's even more to that story. My mom drove a baby blue Chevy Love truck, and she had a cooler in the back with beers. So right after the show at the parking lot of the bike shop, she offered Ev a beer, and that's kind of how everything got started. So
A lot of
Unbelievable.
people start with beer, don't they? It's kind of a common thread, isn't it?
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. My kind of
Nice.
people.
Nice beer and babes.
Yeah.
But I mean, Rick, to answer your question, I think one of the things that floored me the most was being asked to sign autographs for kids over the fence. You
Yeah.
know, like I'm on the crew side of the fence, and then there's just all the fans and the people from Cochrane, Canada, asking me to sign an autograph. And I don't know, that was just a whole new level of responsibility I'd never experienced before. That they thought I was something special, and I wasn't gonna just tell them my story. I was just some punk in Virginia that made it to the set.
And did
Oh,
they
but
gear
you know
you
what?
out?
That means
You kind of
something.
play the
though.
role, you know? Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
Did they hook you up with all the gear though? I mean, did you have all the swag, and did you look factory?
Yeah, I was actually wearing Beetle and Kelly's old leathers. So if you ever see those photos of the old Vans team on the plexiglass half pipe, and it's Kelly and Beetle, those pants are the pants I was wearing.
No
So,
kidding. That's pretty
and
cool.
then Vans
Wow.
hooked us up with shirts. So I got some props for you if you want to, whenever you want to see
Yeah,
that stuff.
Yeah. Let's see them.
You
and
wanna
what
see it?
kind of kick? I'm sure they hooked you up with some Vans to wear too, right?
Oh yeah. So this is Beatles jersey.
Oh, there it is.
That's it. Yeah,
Wow.
they should
Yeah,
they should do a remake of that right now.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah.
Very-
And this was Ev's jersey. This was just cotton, just a t-shirt.
Okay.
It didn't have the arm details.
They
Yeah.
look
But then,
brand new. Were they ever worn?
just for the rad. Then they went
Okay.
into Ziploc bags. Yeah.
Oh, smart.
So Beatles jersey that you just held up, that's what he was wearing on top of the wall at
Yeah.
Hell Track.
Yep. You can
Oh,
see by
man,
that
is so
collar,
cool.
like it kind of rides up on him kind of high.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's from
Yep.
the mock
Turtleneck.
turtleneck style at that point.
And
Yeah.
then this was the one I was wearing.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's so cool.
very cool.
Now, what
Yeah.
scene were you wearing that jersey?
Well, my big scene is when they say the two announcers say a Chevrolet Corvette, and it switches to the three guys working on their bikes with the Vans banner on the chain link fence. So I'm the guy in the red in the middle. So Ev's on my left in the scene, and Beetle's on the right, and we're all just pretending to work on our bikes. So
And they were
yeah.
GT. They were co-sponsored by GT at the time.
Beetle was, but he scraped all his decals off.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he
Is there
actually
a
had gotcha
reason for that?
decals.
Is there-
He wasn't paid. He just got
Okay.
gear.
Okay.
So I actually have a replica of his bike right behind me.
Oh, let's see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a whole setup back there. Very cool.
So
Oh,
I don't know
wow.
if you, can you see that all right? I got the wheel covers.
Look at the wheel covers. Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
That is
Those
awesome.
these GT stickers were a gift from Eddie Fiola, so they're real from that era. And
Oh my.
Beetle had gotcha stickers on the down tube instead of the GT stuff.
God, I forgot about Gotcha, man. That's awesome.
And then
what was his reasoning?
His number plate
Why
was iconic because he did Ralph's Bicycles on it.
Oh, okay. So why did he scrub all the decals off?
Because he wasn't sponsored.
Oh, so it was like a legal thing?
No, he just didn't want to promote him if they weren't going to pay him. So
yeah,
he was Beetle. He did his own thing, man.
Right? Yeah. I mean, sort of co-sponsorship. They hooked him up with the frame, right?
Yeah, they were always really good to Ev and the family. GT was Huntington Beach. We were in Huntington Beach. It was a great relationship. So
that's awesome.
Very cool. Hey, what about the pads on that bike you just showed? Are those some new repops or what?
I don't know what year those are. I'm not sure.
I love. Look, hey, let's first of all let's mention the shirt he's wearing. Hey, kind of step up real fast so everyone can see the shirt you have on.
Gnarly.
Yeah, it's a little project I started.
Are you selling those, or did you used to sell those?
I actually have a couple boxes of them in my basement. I haven't put them up for sale yet. It's one of those projects that just kind of went on hold for a while.
I mean, dude, now's the time to do it, right?
I guess it probably is. Yeah, I got two other versions. One says "Me, I ride for me," and then the other one is let's walk this sucker.
And I know
you know what a cool one I think would be is like you get the shit suit out of you by Coke, but have a Coca-Cola logo just like I got on, but it says Jerry, he rides for Coke.
The guy in the
he obviously rides for Coke.
You know, he was actually the wardrobe guy.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it. I actually thought he was a real rider all this time.
No, he worked in the wardrobe trailer.
What was he doing?
So cool.
I mean, why did he have a Coca-Cola onesie though?
I have no idea. It
was 1985.
Because is he also the guy that would have been responsible for the Rex and Rod suits?
Probably.
He's
it would make sense.
Do you know the story behind that, by the way?
No, I
don't. Long story short, Rex and Rod were given those suits to put on. They thought they were ridiculous. Hal had them. He said, "I tell you what, go see my wife. If she says you don't have to wear them, you don't have to wear them." They walked in the office. She saw them. Said, "Turn around." She liked the way their asses looked in the suits. She goes, "You are wearing them." That's a little quick.
Now let's backtrack a little bit. We're not talking about the track suits. We're talking about the dance suits, right?
Yeah, like that was for like
the squared off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I heard? I heard those were from the television show V. They were. Yeah.
They were. So who the hell
scared the crap out of me?
That's all we got to track that guy down in the Coca-Cola outfit.
That's amazing.
You remember his name?
His name was Jerry, right? Jerry from Coke, or Jerry's.
His real name was Jerry.
Oh, I don't know his real name.
Okay,
yeah, you could probably figure it out. Watch those.
Yeah, we've got to track him down, bro.
Oh my God, what a story! I had no idea. I mean, this is. I'll be up, Jeremy. This is why we started this show, okay? Because there are so many little things about this movie that have, for almost 4 decades, have gone unknown, and they're fascinating, right?
Yeah, there's a lot.
The twins though walking into her office, Hal's wife, and that's how that all went down. Because those things were ridiculous. I mean, were you? Did you watch those scenes? Were you watching all the filming, or just part of it, or what?
No, because they did that part of it after we had left. So like I think Martin stayed, and Eddie left, I believe. So it was just Martin and Pat Romano doing the dance scene.
Okay, how long were you in town for?
It was about 2 months.
2 months.
It was like I missed the first at least 6 weeks of school, and Mom just didn't care. She was like, this is going to be far more memorable than a new high school, because we were moving from Virginia to California, so we showed up late when we went into the first day of school. the principal's like, where have you been? School started 6 weeks ago. My mom said, don't worry about it. Just let him in. So
you literally had the kind of childhood kids dream about. Don't
Literally.
It's school. You get to travel with BMXers and ride. I mean, what a great time. So
and my
now,
stepdad works for Vans tennis shoes.
Yeah.
Like, come on, like how much better is it?
I was wearing those Payless or Kenny's knockoffs. Like I couldn't afford the real Vans, so I had the knockoff. So, had the wrong kind of bottom soles on them. But I'll never forget when like a place called Sanger Harris had some clearance Vans with they had the tropical look on them, and we went and bought them for like probably $15 a pair. I was so stoked. I never had the real deal.
Can I show you guys some of those? I got some cool Vans.
Dude, keep it coming.
These are the ones from the 25th that they did the reissue on.
Oh yeah.
Turn the side. There you go. Let's see the side. There we go. Awesome. Now those are also they were sent a cease and desist, I believe, though, from Talia.
Oh yeah. I had to do a deposition about that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Well, let's get into that story real quick.
I want to hear about that.
Here's
wow.
Awesome.
This is an original pair. It comes with the brochure inside.
Oh my!
Oh wow, that's awesome.
That
came in the box.
So cool.
And then it also came with some of the.
Go back to that. Go back to the back side of that brochure real fast. Put that on the screen and hold it up for a second. Who's the kid? Does it have his name?
I don't.
Or is it just a model of some sort?
Trevor Hernandez.
I think that sounds familiar. But am I imagining that? Obviously, that wasn't the race bike he was on. It was way too big for him. But very cool, man.
So here's some Rad Vans, USA made. They still have the powder and the rubber.
Awesome.
Wow.
And the big difference is these have the little camera guy on the side. See that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't repeat that on the reproduction ones.
So those are original from like 1986.
These are original. Yeah, you can tell inside by the.
Where did you score those from? How did you get those?
I paid a lot of money.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, that looks like it'd be big for a 14-year-old's foot.
And then part of it, I got that poster that would hang in the Van stores.
Yeah, I
and then there's a T-shirt that went with it too.
Very cool.
Yeah, these are U.S. made, never worn, and they still have the powder.
Wow,
very cool.
They still smell like the Orange Factory. And
did you just lick that?
No, I smell it, man. You can smell the rubber. It still smells like it used to. The factory did in Orange, California.
Oh wow. Oh, that is such a trip.
All right, so let's go back now. So you're arriving to Canada. You're suddenly on a movie set for a BMX movie. I mean, and let's walk me through how did it all go down? Like, how did you get to be in it and all that stuff?
Well, let's even go back a little bit further. We're in one hotel in downtown Calgary called the International Hotel. So it's me and Ev and Mom and Beetle and my brother. We have a 2-bedroom like condo, essentially. It had a little kitchenette. And that's where we lived for 2 months. But we were in the same hotel with all the other pros. So it was like going down one level, and there's Eddie Fiola's room, and then across the hall is Martin's room, and Rick Moliterno, and everybody was living in the same hotel. So it was pretty epic. The pool was a mess. Like we tore that place apart pretty good. Yeah, we had a lot of fun moving from room to room. I learned how to short sheet a bed there, how to put like ashtray sand in somebody's bed. I mean, it was a pretty fun time for everybody. Plus, there were some female activity outside on the streets. So we all had balconies with water balloons. And
are you talking about prostitutes?
Yeah, they were all over Calgary. It was legal at that time. So yeah, so we were throwing water balloons incessantly at them off of the balconies, and had a ton of fun. So yeah, it was a crazy time. I remember Mike Miranda. I think he paid for all of us to go to the movies and see Pee Wee Herman on the big screen in downtown Calgary. So
it must have been Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah, it was awesome. So, yeah, we had a ton of fun just hanging out together.
I can imagine. I think we lost Brandon. That's okay. Yeah. So I mean, those movies came out, I think, right around the same time.
Yeah.
Rad.
Well, while
Pee-wee's
we
Big
were
Adventure.
filming, because it was 85, fall of 85 when we were filming. So
Yeah. Now
yeah,
there's a scene. Oh, go ahead.
All we had was a motorhome, so we gear up in the morning and load our stuff up. We get our call sheets under the door, and where we needed to be and what time and where, and we'd show up on set, and they'd catering trucks and tents and food, and we'd hang out all day. So it was a fun time.
What was your most memorable experience with some of the actors? I mean, we know that you've been chummy with Bill over the last several years, and especially since the 25th. But what were they like on set?
You know, I really didn't interact with them.
Okay.
They really, I think there was a Laura Jacoby. I remember being in her room because all our parents went to see Tina Turner one night. Our parents and I believe Talia and the group all went to a Tina Turner concert. So us kids were all kind of hanging out in Laura's room, and we were teaching her and her little brother how to throw water balloons off the balcony.
Oh wow!
We were filling up grocery bags in a grocery cart. For some reason, they had it in their room, and we would pull those up, tie them off, and then throw them out the window. The plastic Safeway bags.
Yeah.
So it made a big boom when it hit the parking garage down below.
I can imagine. Now you said Laura's brother.
I think she had a little brother.
Billy? Was it Billy Jacoby or was it somebody else?
Was it another? I don't remember the name.
Because her brother Billy was in a lot of those 80. He played the typical older brother, or pain in the ass brother, and he was in Just One of the Guys. And
oh wow, yeah, I just remember him. I just remember her and having a little brother.
But yeah, I think he was older.
I mean, I remember seeing him, like Lori getting out of the elevator, but they didn't talk to me. I was 14-year-old kid, and I wasn't. Nobody cared.
Did you interact with Bart at all?
Yeah, actually, my little brother was a big help to Bart. Because my brother was so much smaller than I was, he didn't get any scenes in the movie, but he actually helped Bart out a lot carrying his crutches.
Oh wow!
So if you look at that one, there's a crew photo. It's on the top of my my Facebook page. It's all the cast and the crew. You'll see my little brother standing next to Bart, and I think he's holding his crutches.
Oh, that's so cool.
So
that's so
yeah,
cool.
Bart was awesome, and I've run into Bart quite a bit. He was I worked in department stores. He was one of the Polo Sport models, and I met him at a couple different events for that project. And he's been great. He's really he's approachable and super cool guy.
Yeah.
Are you still in contact with him?
I have his contact. I don't reach out to him unless I need him, but I can. Yeah, he's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he showed up to the 2018 Hill Track event. It was really cool. That was badass.
Yeah, and he was at Eddie's when we did the voiceover.
Right.
At Eddie's house. So I have photos of him and Bill in my he wore that helmet, that reproduction helmet, and Bill got set up in the crew stuff, and we did photos with the two of them. So that was cool.
Nice.
And Bart still has his original jersey.
Do you live in California, by the way?
No, I live in Wisconsin.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to ask real fast.
Yeah. No, I moved here during COVID. So yeah, it's been an interesting life.
Can we go back to the hookers real fast? Of all these all the young guys on the set, I can't help but imagine there's some kind of antics that had to go on, where maybe somebody who they like, let's all put our money together and let's help this guy have a good time. Did you? I mean, don't say names, but did any of that go on?
Honestly, I think I was too young and I didn't get included in that. I really don't.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's okay.
I do recall riding around in some company's van with the door open on the side and throwing balloons out as one of the BMXers drove us around.
Throwing balloons at the hookers?
Yeah, in downtown Calgary.
So I've never heard about the hookers yet, dude.
Me neither, man. This is great.
A bunch of young guys. I mean, were any of them decent looking?
I was 14, dude. I wasn't.
Listen,
they were all good looking.
14,
Everything
girls,
looked
man.
good.
At 14, I was noticing everything. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
maybe a little different.
that's
But
my
at 14,
point.
I knew what I was looking at. But okay, I
Yeah.
didn't feel like man, there's probably a hidden story we got to uncover about the hookers.
Yeah,
Right.
you could pry on that one. They might open up a little.
A lot of
I'm
them are
sure
closed
there are.
about things, but we'll find somebody. You know, Mike Miranda's pretty hilarious, dude. He might open up about something about the hookers that he knows about. There's just no way that there's like 30 BMX guys and not one of them did something stupid. You know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah.
I would imagine that's probably true.
Yeah. We're gonna.
I mean,
I honestly don't have any stories on that one.
So you're 14.
Look,
How old were some of the older riders? Were they up, late teens?
Oh yeah, I mean, well, some of those guys are in their 20s.
They were okay.
Yeah, because that's one of the reasons that I didn't ride anything because I was so little. Like Brad Cohen, he's the guy that gets pushed in the water. He's on a Power Light Mini.
yeah.
Yeah, we were about the same size. He just had more experience riding than I did and racing. So that's kind of how he got that piece.
I've got to tell you, I've never noticed on the starting when they're doing the qualifying, down at the lake or whatever at the park.
Yep.
Let's see, if you're watching the screen, the far right side, I'm like, who's the little bitty dude? Was that the Power Light guy? Was he real tiny? I never noticed.
He was like my age, my size.
Well, when he gets pushed in the water, you can't tell how small he is. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Martin's the one that actually pushed him in the water. But when I watched the big screen a couple weeks ago, and I was literally on the front row looking up, I'm like, who's the little bitty kid on the far right? I'd never noticed it before, man. And he was tiny, and it just looked so hot, all out of place.
He was on like a little profile mini. It was like 1 3/8.
Hmm.
Yeah,
it was a small bike. Yeah, I got him.
Here.
I got him in here. So.
Oh, so cool.
This is my original one. It's all autographed by everybody.
Man, how lucky are you that you kept that?
Brad
I would have
Cohen.
lost. Very cool. Is he in the picture?
Yeah, he's he's right here.
Hold it a little bit
Lift it
higher.
up just a little bit. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, here's your name.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Wow, that's funny. That's awesome. Wow.
How lucky are you to have held on to all this stuff? Most everybody we've talked to, they got rid of everything.
Well, that's how this whole thing started. That's how it all started. I had all this stuff, and I set up a Google blogger, and just started posting photos of it and sharing it and putting it out there. And I was getting tons and tons of traffic. And one of the biggest chunks of people was out of Iraq. So it clicked to me like, okay, because all those guys that were there were our age, that back in 2008, 2007. So they were all there, and they were, in our age group, and I was getting a ton of traffic out of there. So it made me realize that there's something to this. And that's when it grew to a point where we got connected with the 25th group. So it was me and then the two people in Canada that really pulled that together. So it just evolved. And then I went on to Facebook, and it just blew up from there. So it's been an interesting
at what
ride.
point did I'm sure. At what point did the Google blog migrate to the Facebook? Now you're talking about the Rad movie memorabilia site. Is that the one?
Rad the movie collection, I call it.
Yeah, the movie collection.
Yeah.
So what was that migration?
I just Facebook was a bigger platform, and I think that was around 2012 maybe, or 2010, something like that. That I moved everything there, and it just migrated. I mean, I just it was just evolving. Facebook was so hot then. So.
And that's your page. You started that page.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yep.
And now,
that's
what did you connect with Bill Allen? And what point did you make contact with him again and kind of reconnect?
Geez, I saw Bill. I think it was at an Interbike show. He was at a booth there.
2008. Then he's over at the Supercross booth.
I think so. Yeah, and I walked up to him and introduced myself, and was just kicked it off from there. We were, we're just like everything just kept rolling. I think that's about when it was.
It was, and Now, were you in the industry? Is that why you're at Interbike?
I used to work in a bike shop, and I love bikes. So I would always get a pass from my bike shop guy and go out there, and we'd hit the Nora Cup, or we'd do parties and events and just hit everything at the show.
Yeah,
So,
very cool.
It was fun.
That's
It was a fun weekend in Vegas.
That's where Bill actually resurfaced and kind of became, brought to light again, was that event, and people were lined up for his autograph. And then I brought him to Dallas, and then it kind of went crazy from that point on. But the first thing when I'd seen or heard from Bill, as far as I know, in BMX, was at that Interbike, and Bill Ryan, I guess, ran across him and brought him there.
Oh, so yeah, that's cool. I didn't realize that.
It was either 2008 or 2009. I believe 8 though, because at 2009 I had my party, which he came out and presented awards for, and that's where we got to know all about him. That's
when did he show up on Tosh 2.0 or Tosh 0 rather? 2.0.
That was probably like around 12 or so, maybe 14 or something.
I thought it was way earlier than that. Okay,
it could have been, but I do know that he's been on there more than once. So, but I was
yeah.
14.
When that first one that popped up when he rode off the back of the truck and he was like, "This is so stupid." That was the first I'd seen of Bill since the movie. Like I didn't forget about him, but I was like, that's really Crew Jones. How did this guy get Crew Jones to go on his show? And I started following him, and that's when I realized that there was a following that I had no idea about. So it took me that long.
So, Jeremy, let's go back to your time on the set, though. So you're there for 2 months. You're getting to hang out. And at what point did you realize you're actually going to get to at least be in some scenes? How did that come about?
Well, we were actually in a lot of scenes. You just don't see us, or they cut it off, or it's, cut to the right. But, like the qualifying race, the final race, we're all there. My mom and I are standing somewhere right there at the bottom because we watched the backflips. Like that was where we were standing right there. So then they move us around to fill in. So we're in the stands at times. I mean, we're all over the place. But it was just fortunate that some of them clicked. Like the one in the qualifying race when they go past me a couple times.
Yeah.
I was in the right place at the right time. And the Vans thing, that was just because they gave everybody, all the sponsors, all the teams, we all got some type of a plug promo. Like they go down the midway and they hit GT and they hit Mongoose and Redline, and the Vans was just part of that.
Now, do you know any story about Vans being involved? Was there money exchange? Do you know any of the story behind all that? Because you're related with Everett.
Yeah, I mean the movie itself was funded really because the teams paid for themselves to go. So Vans paid for us to be there. It was like Ev was getting a salary and they were paying for our hotel and our food to have us at that movie.
And the movie wasn't paying y'all. Everett's salary was from Vans, of course. So that was a trade off. Then basically it was like trade marketing for
correct. Yeah. All the brands paid their own way. So,
and some of the guys got very small salaries because we've heard some numbers, okay? But I'm assuming you're just happy to be there and you weren't paid nothing, of course, because
I did. I got paid. I think I made like $250 was the last check. The check I remember.
I think Kevin Holt's check was like 200, and then he got an extra.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was because we cashed it.
3 weeks, but how did you get just as much as Kevin?
Because I'm credited as a stunt rider. I think I just got lucky.
Wow, the story gets better.
Yeah, this is amazing.
I mean, dude, the money wasn't about the money at that point in life. You just got a free bicycle. You got a cool sort of not stepbrother, but a cool group to hang around. You're getting hooked up. You're suddenly on a damn movie. That little trip to watch that freestyle show was a life changer for you, wasn't it?
It was. It really was. It was. It set me on a whole new course in life, quite honestly.
Yeah.
I appreciate every moment of it. I don't ever try to take it for granted or to let go of it. It was life changing and it was super cool. That's why I do all this. I mean, I don't get paid for any of this. So, and all the things I've done over the years, to make this thing active again. Go ahead.
Did you get to know Hal at all?
I didn't on the set, but I did on the 25th. Because
what was that like?
Oh, he's cool. I got to ride around with him in the van, and we asked a ton of questions, like why did he ride a Murray and a mongoose? Like what was the thing with Murray? Hal's like, oh, they probably just gave us a fucking bike. Everybody starts laughing in the van. There was no reason. He didn't have a good thought on that.
You said the van, like the van's van or a different van?
Oh, we rented a van to drive Hal and his wife, and Bill was in there, and Robert Levy, Sam Bernard, and Jeffrey Edwards, the writers. Those guys, I was part of the host group, so we were making sure that our guests were taken care of, and we would drive them from all the different scenes and sites that were being people were moving around during the movie. So like there was a ride going on, but there was a van also
for these guys, or concierge of some sorts.
Pretty much, yeah, because somebody had to handle them. You know, that was us. So it was fun because we got to spend some really good time with them together.
Did you see that Murray after it was ridden a few times on the track? What it was like?
No, I didn't. I don't even remember a Murray, quite honestly.
You really don't? Wow.
No.
I would have loved to watch that Murray get backflipped on. Did they flip that? Was that bike actually used in a backflip?
I don't think so. When you see the photos, it looks like it's the mongoose.
We got to pull that up, man. I love the little details like that. Do you happen to know? Let me throw a couple things at you that I've always wondered, and we're always getting these little tidbits of information. For instance, because you seem to be, had a pulse and everything. What about her plate? When Kristen's plate was cut, it says say Dino, it had the little white sticker over it. Do you know any reason why that was?
I could only surmise that it was just a sponsorship. They just blocked it out.
But Dino and GT were the same thing, and GT was all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, they scraped the mongoose stickers off too. For Crew's bike. So I don't know. They blacked out the 09 gloves, roughed them up, made them dirty. I mean, the hockey helmet. They roughed that up. So yeah, I don't know really.
Yeah, I can see them removing Crew stickers because you have the factory mongoose and you're trying to create sort of a separation. And maybe as a poor kid, his bike would have the stickers not on it, like it's a used one or something possibly. Like his pads, they had the yellow tape on them. Like that's probably indicated like they're old, they're refurbished, or he's trying to salvage them. That's what I took from that.
Well, and that's good. I'm glad you brought that up because I remembered something. I don't know where I heard it. I could have made it up, but I'll go with it anyway. Those pads with the yellow tape, those were the snap pads that you had to tape them closed when the snaps broke.
Those are snaps. Okay.
Well, they're not in the movie. They're all Velcro in the movie.
The original one was a T-bar.
Right, but the ones that the story I heard was when they first made the first bike, the first stunt, the prototype of the Crew Jones bike, it had snap pads on it that they'd pop the snaps out of the vinyl. So they used the yellow tape to wrap them, and that's how they came up with that concept of the bike. When they moved to making, multiples of them, and that was 85, right? I think we were in that transition from snaps to Velcro, if I'm not mistaken. And Velcro pads went on all the bikes in the movie. There was a set of them. There were like 5 or 6 of them that they kept.
I want to say about 82, 83s when the snaps were kind of gone. They were history. Yeah. But I do believe I was told, and I need to look now, but I was told like his original pad was actually a V-bar. That's why on the ends it kind of has wings out. Yeah, and so
that's true.
Those are some little facts that are kind of fun to check out. But
yeah, like if you asked Hal, he would just tell you, "Oh, we just used what we had." It was like when Luke bends his wheel. When Luke bends his wheel, Everett Rosecrans actually bent that wheel for him. He loosened up the spokes and showed him how.
Really?
Oh,
yeah.
Awesome. See, there's always little stories coming out that are great. What else you got for us, man? That we behind the scenes that we wouldn't have caught.
Well, I got I mentioned these. These are some of the original van stickers these were on a sheet, and we cut them with scissors driving in the motorhome, so you can see the edges are not square. Yeah, and it was a series of like a whole bunch of different ones on one sheet.
Very cool. Yeah.
So these are originals.
Now, were those in the movie somewhere? Placed somewhere in the movie?
No, we handed them out in the motorhome because we had tons of shoes that we handed out to all the riders, and then cast, crew, whoever, even the people there, the extras.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my original security badge. So
Wow.
this has just been recently not reproduced.
Was that not a prop, or that is a prop?
No, that's the original one. I put it on a piece of board so it doesn't get broken. But that's the clip that we had to wear these on our pants.
I've never seen those, man. That's the first time I've seen this, like from the movie. That's great.
And then I got this guy, which
I've never seen that before.
You have. It's Sergeant Smith is leaning up against one of the ticket booth, and there's a little piece of cardboard. It's got a bunch of buttons on it. Wow. This is the button.
Oh my God!
Wow,
we're diving deep. That's crazy.
That's interesting. I wonder if that's where they got that idea to do the buttons for the Hell Track we did in 2018. I never noticed.
This was just what kind of cool when they. Whoops, getting a glare, I guess.
Yeah.
This is the one from the Y track. Where's the glare coming from? Sorry, guys. There.
That's okay.
So they were doing a tour promoting the movie, and they stopped at the Orange Y, the BMX track there, and this was one of those buttons. It's kind of a cool one. And then one of my holy grails is this.
What does that say on the bottom?
The movie says "Rad Racing" the movie. It looks like. Now, is that possibly from the show, or is that something a repop?
It was made in Canada.
I mean, for the film or afterwards?
For the film. This is one of the T-shirts on the booth.
Oh wow!
When they're selling them,
they said the movie on the bottom like that.
I think so.
I never knew that.
I gotta pull that up.
That's a Canadian T-shirt company.
Very cool.
Mm.
All right, let's talk
Did you get the ripped one?
No.
Are you about to show us a movie script?
No, this is just one of the press kits that I've never seen very many of these in color, and they're from Talia Films.
Oh wow!
And this folder has all the pieces inside, the stickers, the press releases, the letters.
That's awesome.
And it's on blue paper, which is kind of introducing for the production notes, which is kind of fun if you ever read those, because talks about how they hovered a helicopter over the Hell Track to dry it off and all that good stuff. So
yeah, because it rained. You got a shitload of rain right before filming, right?
Yeah, it was really wet and muddy, and because they just dug it out of the sod in a park, there was no drainage or anything. It was just mud.
Yeah.
Now, did you ride Hell Track at all yourself?
I tooled around. I slid down the Hell Track on my butt. That was about it.
You went the ramp?
There's a picture that Jeff Ingram shot of him jumping. If someone shot of him jumping, and it's my mom and I standing in the background where over the big berm where Miranda goes over the top of the berm. Yeah. My mom and I are standing back there. I got my bike with me, so I definitely was on the track with my bike. So,
what about the piece? I see the Bart. Is that an original from the if you turn around, there's a Bart picture from the movie.
Oh, that's that's that recent reproduction that I think Gork was involved in, that because Gork did that ad originally.
Right.
He wrote that and laid that out for them to use in the movie, and that's a reproduction that
we had an interview with Gork. And when we first learned that was from the interview we had with Gork several years ago. I did a Facebook Live with him while he's in town at the Soto track. But now, did you know he wrote that prior to all this, or did you learn that recently?
I learned it a long time ago from him.
From him?
Yeah, I actually have my Rad bike and uniforms are on display at the museum, the BMX Hall of Fame.
Yeah, so I got pictures of him. He mentioned your name. That said, in fact, what's interesting is your Rad jersey, the Crew Jones outfit you sent, had the stitching on it, right?
Yeah.
The stars stitched on. And that's the way. Was that the way the original one? It was all stitched.
Yes, it was. It was really well made like that. That's a good reproduction.
Yeah, And you just donated it to the museum that's theirs forever, pretty much?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to sit down here in Wisconsin or put it out there for people to enjoy. So,
No, you did the right thing. And they give you props for it too, by the way. They mentioned, to me, he mentioned your name for sure.
No, cool. That's good.
So that is good to hear. Yeah. Let's talk about the bikes you got behind you, man. Did I see a Blue Max back there, or what am I seeing?
Yeah, well, I got a Blue Max. This is built like the press photo where Bill and Christian are kind of posing on it.
Yeah.
So it's got the Pro Class wheels on a Blue Max, which didn't exist. And then so it's pretty nice. It's an original 85 Blue Max.
How long have you had that?
Wow.
Oh gosh, this was one of the first ones I built. So I'm gonna go with 18 years probably.
Okay.
And then the other one I have is
Timbers Murray, the 24-inch Murray.
Yeah, it's just a replica because it's not the chromoly frame, but it's pretty cool because it's definitely a monster. This bike's so heavy.
Wow.
Those. Hey, do me a favor. Take your finger and grip the brake lever. I want to say something real fast. Okay. I've always looked at and thought that was the oddest thing, but my friends are like, no, you can still grab it, and I guess you can. I had a friend.
You got to kind of roll forward.
A guy that named Roger, I went to middle school with, and he had one of those, and they were just tanks. They were just not a cool bike to have, dude. If you're in the racing scene, like I was, right around the Diamondback free agent, but he rode that bike, man, and I just thought it's just an ugly, oversized bike. Now I see the beauty in it now, and I wish I had one.
Well, Timmer actually had the chromoly version, so that was actually the better model than I have. This one just popped up at the local bike shop, and he called me, and he's like, "Hey, man, I got Timmer's bike here," so I went and grabbed it. So
what's the white one over there? Is that a GT? What is that?
Oh,
Cruiser, GT Cruiser?
That's a custom. This is a custom Craig Turner.
Okay.
So this is the bike that Eddie rode on the cover of on the half pipe.
Wow.
I can't think of the magazine, but he's on the cover.
Action or something like that.
Yeah, and he rode a 24-inch Cruiser. So what I did is I had Craig Turner weld me up modern head tube, a standard bottom bracket, and he put a brake bridge on. So this is just some black pinstripe tape on the cup to make it look like a cup. But I outfitted it with all 86 parts to replicate what Eddie used on that cover. Just has a new school setup.
And then Eddie had the dyno pads on, I take it, on the cover?
Yeah, he actually has and a handlebar pad too.
Very cool.
But yeah, it's all old SR.
Wow, look at that.
It's got the plate on the back, and then my custom serial number with the old GT hubs.
And what, you buy that like 5 or 6 years ago?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
He's really, the thing was, for those bikes, I saw a lot of them being put out there by his son. That's cool, man. Very cool.
Yeah, it was fun to have it custom made.
All right, and you got the Helltrack fence, all that. And are those cassettes on that little stand?
Yeah, they're I just pulled them out because it's kind of a fun little world tour. So the DVD, this is Betamax. This is Brazilian Rad.
Whoa! Put it a little bit closer.
That's so cool.
It's kind of hard to tell. It's Travis, I guess, and Bart, right?
Yeah.
Photos
are different on these.
Yeah.
Very cool. Awesome. Where'd you get that from?
I have a poster that goes with this too, if you want to see that.
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
It's actually my favorite poster. One of these days I'm going to get it framed. It's just big, and I don't have a wall for it at the moment. But it's
wow, that's a good size poster.
I know, right? And it's really like thin paper too. I don't know if you'll be able to see it all.
Very cool.
Oh,
Martin, wow, dude, that's awesome.
Martin signed this one for me.
Oh,
very cool. I wonder who the rider is for Bart right there.
Well, it's
either no, hold on, that's Bart. So Did Eddie ride for Bart, or who rode for Bart? Do you remember?
Beetle rode for Bart. Travis rode for Bart. And I don't like that. Could be it.
I thought Eddie rode for him at Helltrack. I thought.
Well,
No,
angle a little bit differently. We're catching the glare.
Oh,
on that.
sorry.
There we go.
Sorry. That's Rad in Israel.
It's real. You got to be kidding me.
Oh my!
And look, the power light guy got some love on that.
Yeah, and actually Bill's on there. Bill's doing a trick on there too.
How is Bill on there doing anything on a bike? Is someone holding him up?
Could be his hands off the.
I'm not trying to be funny, but Bill didn't ride bike much back then, so that's pretty legit, man.
Oh.
And I've got
Very cool.
I've got the BMX Hell Riders. This was Finland.
BMX Hell Riders. Why do they not call it Rad?
Just translation, I guess. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, I think they just had licensing, different boundaries, different guidelines in different countries.
And I've got Australia. I've got a VHS and a beta for Australia.
It's never even crossed my mind that there's all these different versions of Rad out there.
There's
yeah.
Beta.
You got the Telemundo
Look at
version?
that. Oh my God.
That's the Brazilian one.
Wow.
And then these are kind of cool. This is, I don't know what this is, but the pros know it's a Rad trailer, but it's like a pro tape, like for a TV station kind of thing.
Wow.
The old analog machines, maybe.
Yeah, it just says it's got TriStar pictures on it. It's I don't know what that means, but it's some special tape. Yeah, and then this one is this one's kind of cool. It's called the Rad Preview Featurette. It's just a VHS, but it's like it's just a trailer on it.
No. Where are you running across those? Just eBay or something?
Yeah, people call me. Some people have stuff they need money, or they need some help, or they got something they think is unique.
You said earlier, you mentioned this very specific term, the Holy Grail. Is that your most prized collection item, or is there something that you're holding out on us?
No, I think it is that red T-shirt. That one's
okay.
I don't know that anybody else has ever. I don't think I've ever seen one before.
Wow.
So that's for me. That's definitely one of the most unique things I have.
That's amazing.
And I don't know if you guys have ever looked into this, but we did a ton of work on. I think they're all out on the Facebook page, but these are all the bike specs for all the Helltrack riders.
Wow, dude. Okay.
So we interviewed, and every time we've met one of the guys, we've talked to them, to try to figure out what their part list was. A lot of them don't remember. A lot of them, got free stuff and intermixed it. But yeah, we've got every bike broken out. So if anybody ever wants to do a replica, this is a good place to start.
I'm going to say there's a lot of Rad collections out there, mainly the bikes and different stuff that people like. They'll buy all the new stuff that's being put out there. You've got the best collection, though, of the OG stuff I've seen. I mean, I'm blown away. The Brazilian, all the different tapes you got, stuff that you can look at because you don't have a thing to play it. The oversized VCRs.
I didn't even bring it all out, man. Like I've got VHS tapes from all the different brands. Like this is Warner Home Video. Like I've got. This is Embassy Home Video.
I was just gonna say Embassy.
Here's another Warner video on different package.
Oh wow,
man!
What was it? Yeah. What was it? TriStar Pictures.
Yeah, TriStar Pictures.
Yep. Yeah.
Dude, I'm geeking out right now on what you're. I mean, it's just a trip. I never even thought about the Brazilian Rad and all these other ones, man. That's so awesome. Yeah. And I love the bike collection. I've actually gone through, they'll say, hey, there's 20 riders at Helltrack. There's actually only 19. If you go through the list and count them down, there's actually 19 riders that came down the ramp for the actual race. Yeah. And
you know why?
No.
Do you know why, Rick?
Why?
Because Rick Moliterno broke his ankle.
That's right. He did, didn't he?
So he went home early.
But okay, let me ask you this. The scene where Crew was signing the cast.
That was real.
So that was his real cast?
Yeah.
Like that. Oh my gosh. Okay.
He crashed on Hell Track.
So he broke his leg there. And so was that, you might not know this, but was that scene written because that happened, or was it? Okay. Wow.
They just added it in there for the hell of it, probably. But what's interesting is if you remember, everybody that was trying to qualify got to ride Hell Track, pretty much. I mean, everyone made it, except for the little Power Light kid. He didn't get to drop in part of it. So now that I realized he was in the damn movie and he was that tiny, I'm really kind of disappointed he wasn't up there. Although I think it'd be pretty obviously when they're showing him side by side that he's like a foot shorter than everyone else. But so was Donnie Robinson, and he was a pro. So that's so cool, man.
Well, I don't know if you missed it. We were talking about 19 riders.
Yeah, I don't want to brought up. I said, hey, they say 20, but there's only 19. And it's because the guy got hurt. I knew that. But
okay. Rick Moliterno would have been 20.
It's a little small thing where they messed up and said that. And then I went through and I went person by person and hit stop, pause. My ADHD didn't allow me just to go through it, and I was writing down their names like, okay, there's somebody missing here.
This thing right here, I have a diorama of a Hell Track. It's a little hard for you to see, but it's,
oh my God, look at that.
A replica.
Did you make that?
Yeah. Can I move the laptop for you?
Yeah,
sure. I would love to see that.
I keep leaning into the screen like I can get closer by doing that, but
he's gonna dive into his computer. Oh wow!
Cool.
We got the glare going.
Yeah, glare.
Rad. Very cool, man. Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so cool.
I did the same thing with the riders and took the bike dimensions for 19 guys.
Yeah.
And then use that as my scale model to scale up, figure out what that scale would look like. So.
Would you make that up? Are you just a craftsman?
It's just I love carpentry and that kind of thing, but this is just a hobby store, trains and model, just scale models. It's like all the little white tires are little glass beads.
Awesome.
Wow.
So
I'm sorry.
Good, Rick.
I'm gonna switch gears a little bit. Our mutual friend Matthew Harris from I don't know if you remember Matthew.
Yeah.
He was with you at the 25th.
Yeah.
So he wrote to me because I wrote to him and I said you're gonna be on tonight and we're recording a session, and he has a question that he would like to ask, if that's okay.
No.
He just sent it to me. He says, this is from Matthew Harris. What was the motivation behind creating the 25th anniversary of Rad? How long did you have the idea? And what was the one thing that made you say, okay, I need to do this. This has got to get done.
It was a partnership. It kind of happened in a weird, I don't know, just fluid way that Kurt Alksney worked for the city of Cochrane, and Brenda Lieberman worked for the Underground Film Festival. And I believe those two had talked first about doing a Rad screening in Canada. And then they found me through the blog. So with that, the three of us got connected. I kind of we split up our teams. Brenda handled talent and the rights and getting the movie to screen. Kurt helped with city and police and all that kind of thing to make sure that we had all the maps and the venues and all the places to go. And I coordinated everybody from the US. So the three of us worked really closely together. We were on the phone every day for, I don't know, a year and a half. I actually flew up there in January, I think it was. And oh man, it was so cold up there. And Kurt was really gracious, like crashed at his house for the weekend and got to meet everybody. And we kind of planned it out from there. It was a ton of work, but
I can imagine.
Yeah, but Brenda had a ton of resources with the film festival and graphic designers and website and all that kind of thing. So she was really instrumental. And then Kurt did a ton of work on his side. So it was a great threesome. Like we all had a really good role in it. And yeah, it was awesome. I think for me, the biggest thing was Van supporting it. And then going up there with the motorhome and gear and making waffles at the BMX track and they were in all the events. And that was really cool that they were so supportive.
Did Van sponsor it? Did they put some money toward it?
They didn't really put money towards it, but they put a lot of money into it, right? They paid for a lot of riders to go, whether they rode in the motorhome or they flew them in. So they made it happen, really. Like I'm
talking about the reunion, the 25th anniversary, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm not sure they made any monetary donation, but they did a lot.
No, that's the same as money. Paying for flights and all that's no different. All the same.
Yeah, they put a lot into it.
And are you still connected to the Vans? I mean, you said it earlier. I don't remember what the answer was. Are you still connected?
Yeah, Steve is always really, really responsive to me. I every once in a while, every year and a half, I'll reach out asking for some swag, and he sends me a big box of fanny packs and wallets and stickers and stuff. And it's just great it's cool for me. I go to the track or I go to we have an indoor skate park here that I hook up. So yeah, it's just fun to be able to hook up people that don't have access to that kind of thing and really get a good kick out of it. It's a nice thing to give back a little.
They're actually in because I go to Huntington Beach quite a bit, and they're actually right there on the way to the airport, the Orange whatever, the John Wayne Airport. I passed the Vans headquarters.
Yeah.
Now is that where the off the highway? Is that where the skate park is? The Vans, where they do the Vans Bowl.
I think they have a park there. I've never been in that building though.
Okay, I've driven by there. I've never fly out from John Wayne at that particular time. The last time I did, and I drove hell, there's Vans right there. But what about the Rosecrans? Are you still in contact with them?
Yeah, Ev's in Hawaii, retired. Beetle, I believe, is somewhere in Orange County, and Kelly, his brother Kelly, is in Orange County as well. So we're not as close as we used to be, but we all kind of grew up and moved on. But yeah, I still have a ton of respect.
How long did the relationship between your mom and him last?
Until my mom passed.
Okay.
So yeah.
I'm sorry for your loss.
That's all right. It was a long time ago, but it still hurts.
Yeah.
And now we ran into me and Bill actually ran into the Rosecrans of all places. We were doing hosting an event at X Games in Austin, Texas.
Oh yeah.
Back in 2015 maybe. And one of the Rosecrans, if not the father and one of the sons was actually there. They're involved in X Games. Or they were.
Yeah.
They were back then.
Yeah, they were. Everett and Beetle. They did from what I understand, they were part of the crew that put up all the banners around the venues and managed them. And then they took them all down after the event and went to each of the different events to set up that portion of it. That's how I understood it. They've got me into the LA games quite a few times, just with his access. So yeah, it was they had a good time doing it.
Which brother was the first one? And one of the brothers is the first one to drop in at Hell Track. Which one was it? Beetle?
Beetle Rosecrans.
Okay, he's the one that dropped in. So he was the one that had the biggest balls and said, I'm doing this. You recall that?
He's the legend.
Well, I do. It was a hair-raising moment, and everybody on the track was silent and motionless. And they put a ladder up. I actually have pictures out on the Facebook page somewhere, photos of it. There's a big ladder, and Beetle climbed up the ladder and then dropped in. So it's about 3/4 of the way. And he did that a couple times, and then he went to the top, and he just kept rolling, and he'd turn out, and Ev basically told him, "Dude, you're the youngest guy here. If you want to make a mark, do it." And Beetle dropped in.
Of the whole movie, behind the scenes, I think that's one of the coolest stories I hear, because this kid's getting the respect of all these top pros. And I do know, I believe a few of them never actually dropped in. If I'm not mistaken, a few of them, from what I was told recently, is a couple of the pros, they never did drop in. People dropped in for them. That could be wrong, but that's what I was told recently.
I think everybody did, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
I don't want to say the name of the person who I was told that didn't.
Well, they did. Some dropped in different ways. Like some used a foot plant and then dropped in. Some rolled in. You'll notice that.
Mm.
I'll need to
They
figure
come in
out.
at an angle.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think everybody did, but I could be wrong.
I was told that, like I said, who knows? I mean, I guess the only way to do is find out the truth. Ask the person I was
We'll leave
told.
it up to legend.
Yeah, but now on the drop in, was it someone wrecked on the start of the Hell Track? Right on the beginning of the start, there's one that went down. Do you remember who that was? It's on the
No, I
far
don't.
side. If you watch it, you'll see he goes down. And I thought it was Richie, but Richie was like, the race was never real, but was always like in third place, it seemed like, But who was your favorite rider? Who's your favorite pro or amateur at the Hell Track? Who's your favorite?
Oh man, I'm gonna go with Beetle. I mean, it was just that guy. He used to do these look back airs on quarter pipes. I mean, he never got the credit he deserved. To be the first one down that thing was ballsy. I mean, it was it was a moment like everyone stood there and got goosebumps. Like it was one of those moments in life where he was like, "Holy crap, I'm here!" And he actually did it, and he pulled it, and everybody's cheering for him. And it was a cool thing because it changed the movie. Like they were freaking out; they weren't going to be able to do it. Like these guys were scared of it. Nobody wanted to get hurt. Didn't
they lower the Hell Track down like 4 feet? Didn't they cut 4 feet off the ramp?
I've heard that, but I didn't see that happen. So okay. I don't know. Maybe that was before I got there or something. But I didn't see that.
One person they had to lower it a little bit. But here's a question I've never had answered: who was the second guy to drop in?
It was probably Eddie
Fiola.
Yeah, because he was really close to doing it. It was him and Beetle up on the ramp.
You're hitting the bowls, these concrete, skate parks. I mean, I would think it's the closest thing to Hell Track at the time. But no one's ever spoke about who the second guy was, and I'd like to know who that was because once you see a kid do it and you're a pro racer, you're like, what the hell, dude?
I know Jose Yanez did. I don't think he pulled it off though. I think he crashed. I think he was the first one down it and didn't make it.
That's what I've been told. I've heard that as well.
Yeah.
Did you see Jose during like on the set? Did you interact with him at all?
Not much. Not Jose.
Was he there? Because
I don't think he was there the whole time.
He had the most kind of, to be real about at the time. Let's be real here. He had the most important scene in the movie, probably. Okay, with the backflip.
Yep.
And so he was kind of the star in a sense, the only guy doing it at the time. So, what was his demeanor like? Did you see all? I've heard stories, but did you see it? Witness it?
No.
I hope it's a movie documentary. They've been talking about it for a long time. I'd love to see that happen for him.
A couple other things. I don't know if you guys know, but in the middle of the track, there's a gap that they go underneath the bridge, and then there's a gap that they come over. Yeah. They actually couldn't clear that gap. So if you look at half of it is filled in with a.
Hold on, are you talking about there's hold on. Now were you in Texas in 2018?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, I didn't. I feel like I would have definitely met you had you been there. But okay. Well, first of all, why did you miss that? How did you miss that?
I don't know. Actually, it was what 2015,
2018,
18. Oh, I don't know, man.
You'd already done the 20, like the thing in Canada already happened.
Yeah, that was done.
Now
I should have been there.
I can't believe you're seeing your collection and you're doing the Rad movie page, and like I can't believe you weren't there. Wow, that's shocking. Yeah, the best thing that ever happened. You witnessed the track in person, but for those who've never seen the track in person, which is most people, to go to 2018 and see the recreation of the track, it was like 95% spot on, maybe 90%. And as a kid, as a BMX racer, okay, you're like, what's the problem? Why are these guys having so much trouble getting up these jumps and stuff? But when you see it's uphill and there's a gap, the step up part.
Yeah.
Okay. Where like Mike Miranda Bell's going up there, there's like a little piece you have to bunny hop over or something, if I recall. Like there's a couple of parts of the track that until you see it, you don't understand why they're having so much trouble. So
yeah, I actually have some photos of Ev up there spotting the guys pushing their butts to get them up over the top,
picking them
so
up
they didn't
and stuff.
fall backwards. Yeah.
They did the same thing in 2018. Eddie Fiola and Martin were out there doing the same routine, like helping them get up.
Yeah, that's why those two guys with the flags are standing up there during the scene, because they're spotting in case somebody starts to fall.
Yeah,
that's Jesus.
Cool. That's where Miranda went down, and when I was told they put cardboard boxes for him to they kind of a bunch of cardboard boxes. That's what he fell into, because he felt the cardboard. And he's the one that brought up the idea to do all that. He got paid $500 a pop, so he kept creating waste of trash to get paid more.
And he kept getting right back in the race and doing it again.
Amazing.
Well, the track from the film was not what's the word I'm looking for? Continuous or contiguous. I don't know what the terminology is, but
it wasn't
it built in sections? Exactly.
I think it was all built, but it just wasn't really rideable. It was so rough. And
correct.
I feel like if they flattened it out, they probably could have, but it was filmed in sections for a number of reasons. But could you go full track, and maybe you got to kind of crawl through it a little bit, but
you could walk it or, like push your bike, but you couldn't pedal the whole thing.
Because of the mud and
the mud, just the layout, the dirt was so rough and hard. I mean, it was it was just not. I mean, it was not a BMX track.
It was a continuous track. It just had ruts off it, more or less, probably like an old motocross track would look. Yeah. Okay.
Pretty much. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, how did you guys address it when you built the 2018 track?
What do you mean?
Because you had to have.
We built the same track. We just had it smoother. That track could have been continuous too. That track, it just was unrideable because it was the dirt was so much. From what I understand, it was just horrible. I mean,
it was just soft, like great fertile soil. Like it was muddy and
it was mushy,
rocky.
right?
I mean, it was mushy. It was just bad.
Yeah. So in 2018, we made the track, but it was just on dirt. Like, it was like an old school BMX track, to be honest with you. And the only thing different was they changed the anthills were a little bit smaller. Although they did take out Barry Nobles, if you know who that is, and that's who I thought was going to win the whole track race. Another noticeable difference was the kicks bowl. They changed it just a little bit, not much. The kicks bowl was just a little different. It wasn't quite as bouncy as the one that was there,
Hey, that's a good story about the kicks bowl. You guys heard that about Chris Phoenix?
Face planting?
Yeah,
we saw it, but we know it's real.
He broke his visor in half, and they had him wear half a visor for the rest of the filming because they wanted it to feel authentic.
You know what? I've never noticed that. Did they show him much? Maybe we can see that he's wearing a half visor.
No, but it was funny. He's not in much more of the movie because it's a funny thing.
He's actually done some kind of a documentary about Rad. Do you know about this?
He did, yeah. I was in it. They filmed me in my garage for it. It was put onto the DVD. I believe part of it was part of some of the work that he did.
Okay.
Yeah, the original one with the extra chapters.
And there's so much out there. I don't even know what you're talking about. I guess.
I think it's this one. The
4K one.
The 4K Blu-ray.
Yeah.
There's some extra chapters on because there's 2 discs and the map.
Okay.
So this version came out. There's actually a chapter in there, and I have an interview. Sam Bernard, Hal Needham has an interview. Bart, I think there's quite a few people in there that got interviews. And I think Chris partnered with them and shared some of that footage from when he was filming everybody.
I never got one of those. Amazingly, I think we gave several away or something. And Bill had some originally, and all of a sudden they're out, and it was just too late, So I never actually got that one. Yeah, that's damn. I gotta see that now. Do you have that, Rick? Do you have the DVD?
I do. And you know what's funny? I've never played it because I don't have a 4K DVD player.
Yeah, you gotta check it out. It's pretty good. There's some good. It's fun because they talk about Beetle. I think it's Hal talks about Beetle and how he dropped in and how epic that was and changed the game for the movie, and so there's some good stuff in there.
Very cool, man. Dude, this has been a really great time. These are some great stories. Is there anything we've left out, man, that we haven't hit?
Not really. I mean, I think just for me, it was life changing. It was an experience that I'm very fortunate to have had, and I mean, it's a story that's almost unbelievable. So
yeah,
I appreciate everybody loving it. I'm happy it's out on DVD finally, so that the rest of the world can see it and enjoy it legally.
Right.
And yeah, so that's I mean, that's my story. I got a
Yeah,
ton more
well,
stuff if you guys want to come back and look at it again. I'll bring out a whole
wow.
nother set of new things.
Well, anything you got access to right now, you can grab away. If you got like sitting below you,
Yeah,
'cause you
man.
keep popping up with more stuff, man. And I'm in no hurry unless you are. I mean, I've got a few more minutes for sure.
Well, man,
Hey,
it's
let me ask about that Bard helmet. Can you grab that helmet? The Bard
Yeah.
helmet? Is
Yeah.
that an Echo?
yeah, it is.
And you just had it painted or what?
I painted it myself, pinstriped it. Yeah, it's pretty close.
I've got an Echo. I had the same helmet as a kid, and I was a poor kid, so when I wanted to open place, I just cut mine off. But
if anybody wants to offer me some goggles to go with it, I'd love to pick up those.
were those the Amy goggles?
Yeah, they're hard to find.
I had a pair of Amy goggles too when I was a kid. Wow, that's cool. So where'd you find the Echo helmet? Just found it on eBay or somewhere?
Yeah, eBay, swap meets.
Gotcha. Man, everything is so premiumly priced right now. Hopefully you got that before everything went up and skyrocketed.
Trying to think of what else I got to show you right here. Everything else is in totes in the back. I've got my jacket that I like here. It's not really. Oh yeah, I forgot this.
Oh yeah, cool.
So I don't know if you guys have seen these. These were the tour jackets.
I've seen them.
That the guys wore when they did a tour around the country to the BMX tracks and different malls. Rich Segur was on that team. And then the back, it's heavy wool. There's a satin version of this too that I think Rich Segur still has his.
That's awesome. Where did you get that from?
eBay, I believe.
That was somebody connected to the thing. You know, they had a van they rode around. Is that the? You ever see the van that said for the tour? That came to Texas. There's pictures of it here in Dallas.
Oh, cool. Did you see that?
I didn't see it personally. I've seen pictures of it. My friend is posing by it, and it's at the track that I used to race at. But I did learn an interesting story the other day. Was a guy named Rusty Roberts. He's a Hall of Famer here in Texas. He was a former pro and such. We were at the RAD showing a couple weeks back. You know, March 21st, I guess. And he pulled me aside and said, you know, we did some stuff here in Dallas, and there's a hotel called the Anatole Lowe's. It's a real fancy hotel. And apparently the video convention had a convention there, and they got local BMXers from Dallas to come there and demonstrate tricks and stuff to promote the movie Rad. And I'd never known about that. And it was interesting that he was connected to Rad in that sense, that he was just a local kid. And they said, hey, come up here and ride your bike so we can promote this movie. They just grabbed random. You know, they probably did that in lots of different cities, you know. But they were doing it
awesome.
for the convention of, I guess, VCR tapes. So very, very cool, man. Awesome. So let's see, Rick, anything to go with this?
That's a good tour of everything so far.
Yeah, I'm so impressed. You know, Rad is obviously it lives on through all of us, but you have single-handedly captured what we've all been thinking about for 35 years. You've got it all in your house. So thank you for keeping it alive. I mean, I was kind of a late comer to the whole Rad Army thing that Brandon and Bill started, and with Eddie and Martin way back when. But you know, we're doing this, man. The Rad family keeps growing, and I love the stories. I know Brandon, you do too.
Oh yeah, I love the behind the scenes that you don't know about. That's what I love.
Yeah, you guys got 30 seconds. I can go grab one more thing. I just thought of it.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
I'll give you 33 seconds.
33.
Some banners from Vans. Now, is this actually from the Hell Track?
Yeah, this is the one that was behind us on the fence.
Oh God, you need that sign.
That is crazy.
You don't want to sign that, and anyone else that we're hold on. I got a question for you. My God, this is a perfect scenario. He's most likely the only person that can answer this that we can talk to. Tell us about the Bill Allen's shoes. We've come to find out that those maybe aren't Converse. Those are those Vans? The shoes that
they were Converse.
Are you certain of that? Because there were some Vans made that are like that type. And there's no circle, there's no Converse logo on them. And also, Bart did you know this? Bart wore the same shoes.
Yeah, it was, they weren't Vans.
You're sure of that?
I'm pretty sure. I'm about 99% sure on that. They were the
Okay.
only ones really on the track that weren't wearing them.
And the question is why? Vans is such a big part of it, and that's like it
I
just
don't
doesn't
know.
make sense. I mean, it's not like they're keeping Vans to the side because they weren't paying money. Vans was participating. It just makes sense that they had Vans on.
It's one of those things. Like, why did he ride a Murray? And,
Well,
Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah,
You know?
if you look at, there's a lot of little subtleties, especially in Crew's wardrobe. You know, he was really, he was just the local kid who didn't come from money. You know, I mean, you know.
see, I thought that's why he wore Converse because Vans were kind of expensive for a poor kid like myself. But
that's exactly what I was getting at. Yeah.
Bart wore the same shoes. If you watch it, you're gonna see Bart wearing the same kind of shoes that Bill has on.
Oh.
And Bart was
I
fully
don't know.
funded. He rode for Mongoose. He should have had Vans on.
right.
So that's some interesting things that doesn't make a lot of sense because I mean Converse wasn't part of it. So why didn't they have Vans on? Unless they were trying to negotiate in the contract and they couldn't get it. But like for Real Motors, that's weird. Okay, so you're pretty sure those are Converse then?
I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure.
But you are totally aware they make some Vans of that style, right? That look like
Yes.
that. I can only okay.
I have them on.
Okay. But no. They make Vans that look they make some Vans that look just like the ones that he's wearing, like the several laces back and forth. And on the movie, which is I'm glad I went to the theater because it's so big when you're on the front row, there is no Converse circles at all on those shoes he's wearing. And we looked every different angle.
As far as I know, they did not wear Vans. We didn't give him any shoes.
Okay. Were y'all giving out shoes to other guys there?
Oh yeah, we had a motorhome was full of shoes when we got to Canada. We came home empty.
Wow. Okay. Very cool, man. Do you know the historian at Vans? Do you have contact with the historian at Vans that could dig into this stuff for us?
No, I don't. It'd be Steve, but he wasn't on the set. It was just Ev.
Yeah. Okay.
Ev might know. I mean, he might be able to confirm it.
Can you get Ed? Can we get it on this podcast?
Yeah, he'd love to do it.
Yes. Let's do this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, this is getting real.
I'll call him tomorrow.
It's like we're playing tag here. Hey, you must, and we can cut this out, or we'll leave it. You must know David, though, right?
David.
The 80s garage guy.
Oh yeah, he's my admin on my Rad page.
Yeah. So he's got a great collection. Do y'all know each other very well, or?
Yeah, we chat all the time. We're all in this together.
Okay.
Yeah, he was.
I
think I have 7 admins on the page now that help manage and post content and share things. And he's gone off with his 80s garage, which is awesome. I mean, the guy's got all kinds of cool stuff.
No, for sure he does. And now, aren't you an admin, Rick? Didn't you get put as an admin on this?
I think the podcast somehow got an admin on one of those pages. I don't know if it was that one, but I'm pretty sure on one of them it did. I don't know how it happened, but
what are you up to in followers on that page now?
48,000, I think.
Did it really grow during? Did you notice it growth during the epidemic?
No, it's been pretty steady since then. It's kind of topped out. I think Facebook's got some like brakes on it or something because it doesn't seem to grow much anymore.
Well, they want their money. That's how it works. They want money.
Yeah, the 25th was really the push for most of it.
Yep.
Wow, very cool, dude.
Yeah.
Listen, I got to tell you, my parting thought is this. I think of everyone on the movie, on the set, period, attached, I got to think that he's the one that probably had the biggest impact on his life. First of all, tying the whole mom meeting Everett and all those stuff. But you weren't a factory kid rider, so you're like the rest of us, like in awe of these badass BMX athletes. You know what I mean? They're incredible, so you're in awe. You weren't like, you weren't some like Jeff Schofield, who, if you don't know who that was, he's like a GT factory superstar at the age of 10, who was, used to these guys. You weren't used to that. And you're 14, you're getting to hang out for 2 months. There's prostitutes outside the window. There's going to school late. Like, you know what I mean? How cool. You get a JMC bike. Do you have the bike, by the way? Is that gone?
No, it's gone. Yeah. Bummer.
You got the coolest shoes at the time, Vans. I mean, dude, I got to think you had the best time of all at Rad, at the filming.
It was pretty fantastic. Yeah.
I can imagine.
I wish I could do it all over again. I'd I'd keep so many more things. I would save things. I would like just didn't think about it all. You know, it was fast. It was Virginia to Canada in 4 days. I mean, it's kind of like, what the hell?
Foxy or Tiger?
Say it again.
Foxy or Tiger?
Oh, Foxy.
Did you meet her?
That's the right answer.
I did. Yeah, I actually signed her leotard on the 25th.
You signed her leotard? That's funny. Cool. Well, man, let's wrap this up, dude. And we need to get. I mean, let's bring him back on for some more. I'd love to do. Bring you on with Everett.
That'd be fun.
That'd be awesome.
That would be really.
Man, dude, I've really been a pleasure meeting you, man. I've actually heard about you for years. I mean, Bill used to talk about you all the time.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jeremy. It was really a pleasure connecting with you. I'm glad we could do this.
Awesome, dude. All right, man. Cool, man. All right, guys.
Have a good night.
Thanks, guys.
Man.
Talk soon.